against Hawaii, and we owed it to ourselves to finish the game the way we did today, because last week we obviously didn't do as well in the second half. So played hard, and I think we needed this one.
It was taught, Coach gave a halftime interview where he was pretty upset, saying, "I want to score 100 points on this team," because some stuff you heard from the sideline of Idaho. Was that at all addressed in the locker room at halftime at all?
No.
Was he extra fired up? Did he seem to you?
Yeah, he was fired up because he was more fired up about within our team. He's not worried about everything that they have going on, what they're telling the refs and stuff like that. He's just making sure that we play hard and we finish games, and he knows that we haven't really completed a full football game until today. Still have mistakes in there that need to be ironed out, but for the most part, we played a pretty complete game, and he just wants us to go out there and just play with a good effort and execute throughout the full game, and that's what he was talking about mostly.
So on that second touchdown, ball's in the air, you say, "I'm going to make a one-hand catch on this one," or did it just happen?
Yeah, not at all. It was more of a thing that just happened. Derek threw a great ball back shoulder because the guy was over the top. So it was just right there. I just threw the hand up, and I trust my hands enough to where if a guy's kind of holding my off arm down, it was back shoulder, so it was right there. It couldn't have been any easier.
Were you surprised to see you one-on-one coverage early in the game?
Well, I wasn't too surprised because I seen on film they were kind of stubborn. It didn't really matter who they were playing against. They just kind of stuck to what they do. And saw some too high stuff, but for the most part, they did play a lot of one high and man coverage. So when it happened, you just have to take advantage of stuff like that. Just let them know that they shouldn't be doing that against guys like the receivers we have here.
When you see that, I mean, you just start, your mouth gets wide.
Oh, easy. Yeah, definitely. As soon as I see one-on-one coverage anytime, no matter what the route is, I just know, man, I should get the rock here, but, if not, then for the most part, they're going to be in cover one anywhere where it's man coverage, and I know that Josh is going to beat them outside, and Burst, he'll beat them inside, so it doesn't really matter. Everybody's going to be open.
And you haven't been single covered much this year, huh?
No.
How good did that feel for you to get that type of look?
It felt good. It felt good to see some single coverage because it gets frustrating sometimes when they have guys over the top and then below you and then inside all over the place. Because but at the same time, I told a different reporter this. Got to kind of take it as a compliment as well that they're using that many guys. They're designating 2 to 3 guys for one player. That means that I got all kind of guys on my team that are open all over the place. So, I mean, if they want to do that, that's fine. But I'll be open if they don't, and sometimes even if they do. So.
And you guys were able to establish the running game really good this game. What was the difference, and how important was that to closing out the game how you guys want to?
Well, pretty much just the run execution that we had today makes it easier for us to pass too, because when they see that they're not stacking the box. And Martez or Josh, whoever's in there, Malik had a good game. If the box isn't stacked and they're having a good game running, then we're gonna be able to throw the ball out. We're gonna be able to throw the ball outside, and vice versa. Either way, if they want to put a lot of guys on us, we're just gonna run it. So we got threats all over the place, and we were waiting for him to kind of break out. And I think Martez found his groove, and he played a real good game today. So he's gonna build off that and bring that into our next game.
How fired up were you guys on the sideline to have Dylan in the game with 2 straight sacks?
Oh, man. I mean, the first one got everybody going, and then we thought that was kind of going to have to be it right there. And then they call a timeout with a second left, and they're down 60 or 50 something. So that's kind of weird. You don't know how to feel about it. But so then we blitz and just kind of show them, hey, I mean, we were probably going to lay off otherwise, and then you just got to kind of punish them for making decisions like that. Most guys will just let the clock run out right there, but I mean, we're fired up about it. Dylan's a converted corner. He played wideout before, so we're feeling real good about him being there. He's been looking good in practice, so it's real nice to have him make a play, or a few plays out there, actually.
Do you take that timeout as an insult? Because in halftime you're hearing things like coaches are allegedly telling their guys to hit your guys low, and then they call timeout with 1 second left. Do you just get you more jacked up to make a play in the game with a statement like that?
Well, yeah. When you see stuff like that, you just got to take advantage of the opportunity to make a play. if they want to do that. The coach is feeling good about himself if they throw a bomb right there and score. He's feeling like he made the right decision. So I'm pretty sure he won't make that decision again if they're down 50. And they're not going to call a timeout with a second left in the ball game. So I'm sure when you have plays like that, we can make him regret it.
Davante, going back to the one-on-one coverage, so how do you get Derek's attention about that you're facing that matchup, or does he just automatically notice it?
I'll tell you this, I don't have to say a word to Derek. He knows before I do most of the time coming out of off the sideline what's going to happen. I mean, that dude knows so much that he's so smart in football that he can tell me beforehand when I'm still trying to recognize the coverage, I'm getting lined up. He's telling me, give me an audible, a different route to run because of the coverage we're seeing. And I'm still looking at, like, why is he doing this? And I see it rotate as the play is happening. So I'm like, I don't have to say a word to him. I just trust him. And, I mean, as you can see, he threw me 16 balls today. Well, threw me, like, a lot more than that. But I caught 16 passes. So I leave it in his hands, and I just run the route he tells me to do.
All right, let's let